Hey everybody, Blue Hair Dave here. Is Joe Rogan the new Howard Stern? Joe Rogan signed a huge contract with Spotify today, and I'm going to give you all the news. I'm going to tell you how this huge deal translates to entrepreneurs, people working from home, and people in the digital marketing world, because it's really going to shift the landscape. I'll explain what this means for you and what it means for the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. So let's get started.
Subscribe.
Perfect. The Joe Rogan podcast will soon be a Spotify exclusive. It's never even been on Spotify before and certainly never been exclusive anywhere. Starting September 1st, it's going to be placed on Spotify with all the back catalog. This includes video broadcasts that are currently on YouTube. And then a few months after that, Joe Rogan Experience podcast is only going to be on Spotify. This deal is said to be worth about $100 million, but I can't find any details on the length of the contract. Those aren't available just yet. This news just broke. Joe Rogan podcast gets over 190 million downloads per month. It usually ranks at least number 2 or 1 on the Apple Podcast rankings. Joe Rogan's podcast channel on YouTube is going to remain live, but only for clips for the podcast. So you're not going to be able to watch the full episodes on YouTube any longer once it becomes exclusive. So to rehash, in September, the podcast is going to be on Spotify with all his back catalog, and then they're going to go exclusive in a couple months where it's only going to be on Spotify. You won't be able to watch full episodes anywhere else. This is a huge boon and bonus for Spotify because they've been gobbling up podcasts and podcast companies and properties lately, like Gimlet Media, Anchor, Parcast, all last year. Other big names are with Joe Budden and Amy Schumer and The Ringer. Rogan's podcasts usually get millions of downloads per episode, and he does a lot. He does anywhere from 3 to 6 a week usually. He's kind of been the Pied Piper of podcasting. His opinion is enough to maybe even sway elections a little bit. He had a big controversy when he had Bernie Sanders on, and people were wondering, well, why did he have Bernie Sanders on? Because he's often misconstrued or mischaracterized as a right-wing person when he's actually very liberal. This happens because he has a willingness to listen to people from all different sides with different opinions. Unlike most other news outlet sources, where they only pick one political spectrum or the other and report only on those in a sound vacuum. Joe Rogan's popularity and his ability to break through is probably because of the varied voices that he has on the show. One of his most famous episodes is when Elon Musk and Joe got high on one of his podcasts. Elon got in a lot of big trouble for that. When Bernie Sanders was on the show, there was a big bump in his polls, and there was a lot of criticism coming from left-wing media regarding the fact that they were calling Joe transphobic and homophobic because of some things he had said on the show which were misconstrued and mischaracterized. People forget that he's a comedian, and comedians are going to say funny stuff on the show. Basically, Joe shows on his show a diverse range of beliefs and opinions, just like everybody else does, or at least should. This is a huge deal in the digital marketing entrepreneur space because it shines a further light on the fact that 1 or 2 people with a very small budget can produce content that can make a huge splash. And that further erodes Hollywood's grasp on content and entertainment in the digital world. All it takes is one person or maybe a couple in a room with about $1,000 worth of equipment, and they can produce programming that makes 6 or 7 figures a year. I'm living proof of that here as Blue Hair Dave. And Joe Rogan is proof of that on the extreme scale on the top end. Of course, Joe has an edge on this with me as far as viewership, but I definitely win in the cut your own hair segment. And the fact that he doesn't have any hair helps. So I'll call that contest even. Okay, Joe? People often overlook the ability of one person to have a huge impact on media and what people are hearing and seeing for their news sources and their information. My marketing company is basically me with some people that I will hire once in a while to do some other tasks, but I'm able to get more people viewing my advertisements and my programming than the local newspaper, the San Diego Union Tribune, is in San Diego where I live. What used to take an office full of people, no, not an office building full of people, now one person can do sitting in a home office. What's happened lately with the pandemic is just push this world into the forefront. People are at home. People are starting to produce their own content more. They're watching more of other people's content. They're more likely, probably at this point, to trust a stranger speaking directly into a camera right now with a ring light than they are to trust their national or local news. Comment below if you think that's right, a great idea, or a bad idea. I want to hear what your opinions are about this. Whether we like it or not, though, it's the world we're living in and moving towards at speed of light. Literally the speed of light, because it's an internet connection with optic fiber. More people are going to be working from home. More people are going to be producing content. More people are going to be watching content on the internet. Our kids are going to be learning from home more often. We don't even know if school is going to go back to normal. If it wasn't for the childcare aspect of a school environment, I doubt a lot of states would even opt to go back to school any further, even after a vaccine or a cure or whatever comes up during the pandemic. It's still a very important structure for feeding and for underprivileged children and families, but this doesn't discount the amount of money that municipalities, counties, school districts, and states would save. They're realizing that you can kind of get it done at home, but not everybody has that same situation where there's a parent there that can help them, or even a computer system or a desk area where somebody can learn. So a child who is usually already disadvantaged, even in a school environment, because they don't have the same help from their family, their parents, or the ability from those people to help them to even get further when they're out of the school systems. For some people, the school is the only quiet place that they get where somebody will listen to them. So add all this together with the big news of somebody who is a two-man team. It's Joe and Jamie. Let's bring that up, Jamie. Jamie, bring that up. And a little bit of equipment with some cameras, some Buffalo Trace whiskey, and some marijuana, and you can get a podcast of somebody that makes over $100 million. 3 hours of people just talking to each other. Seems to be what people want to hear. They don't want manufactured news. They don't want manufactured conversations. They actually want something that's in-depth and that's interesting. Like and comment below. Subscribe to the channel. I've gone from 0 to over 1,000, 1,100 by now subscribers in just a few weeks of doing this. I really love the support, and I'm really happy to be reaching out to you guys. Let me know what you think. Comment below if you like it, if you hate it. I just want to talk to you guys, and I'll be in the comments replying. I'll see you later. Blue Hair Dave out.